Now, you can start by helping me to understand the precise nature of the conflict between the two sides that you've set up.
Green. Purple.
No, I understand that there are two factions, but what is your point of contention? I mean, where do you disagree with each other?
Purple. Green.
Yes, but who gets to wear the purple sash and who gets to wear the green sash? I mean, is it based on income or caste or rank? Or...
We put green and purple in great barrel, equal to numbers of Drazi. Then we reach in, we take. Where there was one Drazi people, now there are two. The two fight until there are one.
That's it? I mean, it's totally random, arbitrary?
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
Should I let you chew? Oh, please don't. That's it. We lost 70 YouTube followers just because you smacking your lips into the microphone. Wait. Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
And this is
We Are All Kosh.
a Babylon 5 Riffcast. Welcome back. Ready to talk about season 2, episode 3, The Geometry of Shadows. Apparently that's supposed to be a reference to like math, because geometry is math, and the techno mages use math, but they're also kind of mysterious. Like shadows are mysterious. J. Michael Straczynski had like a paragraph about it. I was like, you are so proud, so proud of that title. I'm so happy for you. This originally aired the 16th of November, 1994, and takes place from January 25th through February 5th of 2259.
Oh, okay. So it's been a couple more weeks.
Yeah. It's directed by Michael Vejar, Vegar. Vejar? Hard to say. He directed at least a couple of episodes in every season except season 1. And he directs 3 of the movies and some of the Crusade episodes. And he has...
So he sticks around.
An incredibly extensive career. Like, look up his IMDb page. He has directed some of pretty much everything. Quantum Leap, some Star Trek, all kinds of stuff. He's also in the DVD commentary for some of the movies. Like, the director's commentary.
Interesting.
Yeah. He also worked with...
I wonder if he and JMS are just, like, good buddies.
They must, because he also worked with him on Voyager. I mean, not Voyager. Jeremiah.
What's Jeremiah?
Jeremiah is another show that JMS did.
Okay.
I forget. It's like post-apocalyptic. It's one of the shows that were, like, saved by fans prior to social media. People mailed, I think, peanuts in as like a show of solidarity and wanting Jeremiah to continue. And if you've read Becoming Superman, you know that he had an absolutely horrific time trying to work on Jeremiah because the same executive that ran him off of Crusade followed him and ran him off of Jeremiah.
What?
JMS. There is allegedly a person who he will not name who had some kind of beef with JMS. And he's the one who gets Crusade canceled because they had signed on for a full season.
Yeah.
And the only way they could get out of him producing a whole season was to show that he had broken faith with the production team at the studio.
Okay.
That he was being given orders and was specifically not doing them. And so they ordered him to have the main character of Crusade sexually assault one of the other cast members.
What?
Which would have been totally out of character. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And they were like, well, if you're not going to do it, then I guess you're done here.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the same thing happened on Jeremiah. He said it was one of the worst experiences he ever had trying to get anything filmed. And then that's why there was no Babylon 5 content for a really long time. And then when that guy left or passed away or whatever is when we got the new animated movie.
Oh.
Yep. That's all the details I know. I don't know if there's more to it, but he won't really say anything more. This guy also directed 13 episodes of Voyager, which is why I said Voyager originally. They're on the same line in my notes.
Gotcha.
I didn't talk about it because I didn't add him yet, but Robert Russler is the guy who plays Warren. Warren Keffer, apparently. JMS said that character was introduced solely because the television network wanted a hot shot Top Gun kind of pilot character to attract more viewers. And although
yes, because that's why we come to Babylon 5.
Right, for the hotshot Top Gun type of pilot character. Well, it was
I mean,
what was popular
we
at
had
the
that
time.
in Sinclair,
Kind of.
but now Sinclair's gone, so
We
need
had
a
that
new
like first
Top Gun
part.
hot shot.
We had that like first part of season 1. And then by the second part of season 1, Sinclair's not flying fucking anywhere.
Right.
And they were probably like, we need young. It was like in season 3 of Forever Night where they were like, we need young people to get young people to watch the show. And they put the dumbest young people character in. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same sentiment.
Yeah.
So like, we're not tracking well with the 18 to 25 crowd or whatever. And we need to make sure we're getting them. So let's add an 18 to 25-year-old character or whatever.
Mm.
And although he's credited in 22 episodes, he's only in 6. So he's in the main credits, but he's actually only in 6 episodes.
Right.
So JMS clearly only put him in as much as was contractually required. And this is a spoiler. I don't know. Just skip ahead if you care, but he gets killed. He gets killed at the end of the season. So he's like, I never intended for him to survive. So he added him and then was like, great. Did you like that? He's gone. But this guy,
Oops, he died.
I recognized him, and I realized I recognized him from Vamp, which is a 1980s vampire movie with Grace Jones as a vampire.
Okay.
He plays AJ, and he's also in Weird Science as Max. So he's in a couple of 80s cult classics.
Keffer is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Warren. Robert Russler is his real name.
Oh, okay.
And then Michael Ansara is the guy who plays the techno mage, Elric. He played Kane in Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, which is a weird crossover because we just got a request to do that for Strange and Beautiful Book Club. And I was like, what are the fucking odds that this guy is in this movie? And he's also Kang in 3 different Star Trek series. So he played Kang, the Klingon warrior guy.
Okay.
Like across 3 different series.
Nice.
And he also plays Cochise, who was an Apache leader, and he plays him in a TV series called Broken Arrow. And my dad used to say Cochise all the time. Like, are you listening, Cochise? Or what? It was like a name of, not a pet name, but like a thing he'd throw out.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just a thing he said, but apparently this Cochise was like analogous to like Geronimo. He was an Apache leader who was significant in resisting the takeover of the North American soil,
Colonization.
I guess. Yeah, and I was like, okay. This guy's from Syria. So he gets the like the Yul Brynner effect of the I could be Egyptian, I could be Native American. You don't know. I'm whatever you ambiguously ethnic.
Yeah, because he pulls off Native American pretty well.
Yeah, I can see that. His first credit is actually in 1944.
Whoa.
He was born in 1922. So in this, he's 72 years old. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Wild.
He passed in like 2013, but he would still have been like old, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he died young. He also played in an episode of Lost in Space. 1 episode.
Okay.
And he played in Centennial, which is that show that I'm always talking about that my dad really liked. It's from 1978. It was a mini series. It was about 100 years of this single plot of land out west. And it's the one that we got from maybe Reader's Digest. And like episode 6 was actually a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We watched it Christmas Day because Dad got it for Christmas. We put in the first 5 tapes and we took out tape 5, put in tape 6, and it was like Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I was like, I didn't know Jean-Claude Van Damme was in this. And it was absolutely not anything to do with Centennial.
It was just a regular
It was a
Jean-Claude Van Damme
Western
movie.
with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it, which I have never seen before or since. And Mom called, I think it was Time Life or Reader's Digest, and was like, hey, one of my tapes is a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. And they were like, oh, yeah, we'll just send you a new one. They were not shocked. What was happening that somehow Jean-Claude Van Damme movie got inserted into the middle of this tape set? Because they were expensive. Tape sets were expensive.
Mm-hmm.
God, and we had that forever, too. It was so fun. It was one of those things that if it hadn't happened to me, I'd be like, that's not a thing that could possibly happen. Anyway, his name in the Centennial show was Lame Beaver. I kind of feel like that would be the best. That'd be my native name. I'm Lame Beaver. I can't get up. Sorry. This is after we went to the Canadian Bush Plane Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian Heritage Bush Plane Museum last weekend, and we saw a plane called Turbo Beaver, the lesser-known cousin of Lame Beaver.
The more productive cousin.
Yeah, he was also in an episode of the original The Fall Guy TV series, which I didn't realize The Fall Guy was a TV show.
Oh,
And then the movie is like a reboot of the TV show
interesting.
about a stunt guy who is also a secret agent,
Okay.
which kind of makes sense. Anyway, then William Forward is Lord Rifa. He's really only Lord Rifa. He's not in anything else. And I included him because I think it's really interesting, since I've been keeping track of all of the side characters, how many actors are only ever in Babylon 5.
Right.
Like they're in other stuff, but they're only in a significant number of Babylon 5 episodes. And I wonder if that was a symptom of, because the network was new, because it was the primetime entertainment network, if you had a hard time attracting stars who had been in a lot of stuff.
Okay. So like a stigma.
Or just like if you put out a casting call, people are like, primetime entertainment network, whatever.
I've never even heard of that.
Or the pay was low or whatever.
Yeah.
Although he did say that one of the things they did started in the previous season and then expanded this season was they had like a silo of people that they would call, of side characters that they would call back, and they actually made full like life-size busts of their faces so they could construct the prosthetics before bringing them back.
Ah.
So you had like 12 people. It'd be like, I need you to be a Drazi. You didn't need them to come in to fit the prosthetics. You could just do it on their bust, and then when they came in, it would fit. And I was like, that's a really clever way.
Yeah.
Because if you put new prosthetics on them and they're just Drazi number 1 in the background, then it doesn't really matter if people recognize that it's the same actor or not.
Right.
Apparently there was a scripted but unfilmed season 1 finale of Crusade that would have explained the line, "We would not have our knowledge lost or used for ill purpose." Because Elric says that. He's like, we're leaving because we don't want people to like steal our shit.
Yeah.
And the episode would have revealed that technomages were, in fact, fleeing from an Earth Force Black Ops faction that was attempting to obtain shadow technology and create their own technomages.
Oh.
So they aren't just leaving, they're running away.
Okay.
But we don't know. We know.
Which is why they're in a hurry.
Yeah, which is why they're like, okay, so anyway, we're leaving. Bye. You can have your corridor back now. Elric's name is inspired by the Michael Moorcock series of fantasy novels with the antihero Elric of Melnibone, which I have a few of.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
I'm slowly collecting them. When I get enough of the series, I will read it, but they're hard to find. Claudia Christian actually broke her foot at home shortly before filming began.
Oh, nice.
So he had to
Nice tie-in.
rewrite the episode specifically to tie in her breaking her foot.
Okay.
Which means her foot is broken the entire episode. So when she is walking around on her own, her foot is broken. He was like, yeah, she was a real trooper. And originally, she was going to save herself. And then when she broke her foot, and they had to write in the whole part where her foot got broken, he worked it so that Garibaldi would save her.
Okay.
But previously, Garibaldi wasn't going to save her. She was just going to save herself.
It works out better this way.
I think it does too, because it gives us a plausible reason to draw Garibaldi back in.
Right. It gives him a change to kind of shift him out of the mindset he was stuck in.
Yeah, because he was in, I think later in my notes I wrote, do we not have a cure for clinical depression yet? We've come this far and we still don't think mental health is health? God damn it. But we start with Garibaldi and Dr. Franklin, and he's getting a physical to like confirm that he's ready to go back to work.
Just follow up, see how he's doing.
Yeah, Dr. Franklin is poking him in the back, and he's like, does this hurt? Nope. Does this hurt? Nope. And then he like shanks him. And Garibaldi goes, ow, hey. And then Dr. Franklin, I want him to just like lean in and whisper in his ear, like, I don't like it when my patients lie.
I think that would have hit a completely different vibe.
Does it hurt when I do that?
No, it's fine. I don't feel a thing. Ow! Hey.
I don't like it when my patients lie to me.
Yeah, well, we could have discussed it. I mean, jeez, what do you do when a patient's late with a bill? Stick needles in their eyes?
I cannot fill out an honest physical evaluation without your cooperation. You are being
That is a line that delivered correctly could be so insidious, but instead he's like, I don't like it when my patients lie to me. And Garibaldi goes, I mean, we could have discussed it. What do you do when a patient's late with a bill? Stick needles in their eyes? And I put, how did you know?
Yeah.
He goes, I cannot fill out an honest...
Close.
Who told you? Who?
You'd be surprised what I'm capable of.
This whole scene. He goes, I cannot fill out an honest physical evaluation without your cooperation, and you were being cranky and difficult.
I wrote, that's what his condition is.
Cranky and difficult, yes.
From last episode.
Correct.
Right?
We called it. We said,
Yeah.
stubborn
Talia
asshole.
said, because of your condition, I need to do a deep scan.
What's my condition? Cranky and difficult. And Garibaldi says, you try getting shot in the back and see what it does for your disposition. And I just put, no comment. No comment, but maybe write that down. Stick that somewhere. You might need that later.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in that, exactly. It's not really a red string moment, but it's like you need to learn to watch your back, Garibaldi. Or why don't you destroy the Narn homeworld while you're at it?
Yeah.
It's a line that might be a little bit foreshadowy. I don't know, for no reason. He's like, oh, so how's it look? And he goes, Dr. Franklin goes, allowing that you don't report everything that hurts, your condition seems to be improving right on schedule, and you should be able to get back to work next week. You know, assuming you don't exert yourself. So, like, no dates? I don't know. Like, don't
chase down a culprit.
Oh, okay. I was like, what kind of exerting is he going to do? Do they have a gym? I don't understand. He's like, well, I got to check in with the new captain first, find out if he even wants me around. That's when he should have been like, would you like some antidepressants? Are you feeling anxiety? Can I help you? Can I refer you to a therapist?
It's not uncommon to have
a crisis.
Yeah, kind of whenever you're recovering from a major injury.
Yeah, depression is normal.
Yeah.
Which is why it's like, can I refer you to a therapist?
Yeah.
This feels like every time in Forever Night when Natalie would almost get killed by somebody and then she would just be back at work and you're like, you got to eventually confront these issues. Right. Or they're going to, she's going to be so tense, she's going to shit diamonds, okay? You got to get that out somewhere. They don't offer him that at all because it's the 90s in space. And then Garibaldi goes on to be like, I don't know about this guy. I keep thinking, you know, everybody wanted Sinclair out of here. And then now all of a sudden he's gone. And I knew I could trust Sinclair. But this guy, I don't know. Look at that face. He's got a punchable face. He's like, Okay, Dr. Franklin goes, well, I mean, he didn't exactly sound excited when I mentioned you're going back to work. I kind of thought maybe you'd be pleased because you don't have anything but your work and duck dodgers. And you had your motorcycle, but then Blenier built it, so that's gone.
Yeah, your reason to get up in the morning.
Your joie de
Got up and
vivre.
went, vroom.
vroom, 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 bye-bye, motherfucker. And then he must have hawked it because it's gone. He's like, yeah, no, I am. Yeah, I am. I mean, mostly. Did anybody explain to
Mostly.
Garibaldi that Sheridan gave him his life energy to bring him back?
Probably not.
Is anybody going to tell him?
Dr. Franklin was probably like, I saved you.
Me.
Myself.
Me personally. This is all me. Nobody else helped. Well, it was an unsanctioned procedure, so they probably are
Did they tell Garibaldi at all?
At all, correct. I feel like this is important information. Like, I think this guy wants you around because he risked his life for you.
He literally sacrificed from his body.
Maybe Dr. Franklin's like, I want Garibaldi to form his own whatever. I don't know. It's weird. We gloss over it so quick. It happens. Why did we even include it? Right? Why even include it? Because it's a hot minute. It's just Dr. Franklin and Sheridan arguing about who gets to sacrifice the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put the thing back on the shelf. We lock it. Sheridan takes the key away from Dr. Franklin, and we never, ever come back to it or address it for a long, long time. Except just to bring it up in season 2, maybe.
Well, yeah, I think to remind viewers or introduce new viewers that,
To the concept of it.
Dr. Franklin got this alien artifact, whatever. But I think also to show that Sheridan is committed wholeheartedly to the success of his command. The success of his command.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I get that. Okay. Well, Garibaldi goes to leave, and Dr. Franklin's like, hey, Michael, do you want to talk about it?
Well, okay. So this is kind of the do you need a therapist moment.
About your human emotions, which I also have. I am also human. I also have emotions.
I've heard about these things.
I've heard people sometimes need humans, like us, you and me, sometimes need therapy when they have feelings. And Garibaldi's like, well, I got shot in the back by my own guy, by my second in command. And he was right there with me the whole time. And I never saw that he was a bad guy. And how can I be expected to be the security chief if I can't even tell if the people that I'm working with are good or bad? And Dr. Franklin's like, you can't be expected to know everything. And Garibaldi goes, yeah,
Yes,
I can. Yeah, I can.
Which is a big red flag that he
Yeah.
expects himself to be able to know everything
Yeah,
that's
that
going on.
He's not forgiving himself for
Yeah.
what is really an honest mistake. He's like, I could have known, I should have known. And now I just don't know if I'm of any damn use to anybody anymore. He's like, I keep asking myself, what qualifies me to take back my job? And honestly, I don't have a great answer for that. I mean, I can think of a couple of things. For one, he got rid of McGrath. Hey, where'd McGrath go?
Draining the swamp.
Don't even with me right now. He got rid of McGrath. Nobody's gone to the alien sector and bought keys to the diplomatic thing in forever.
Maybe that was the straw that broke the kind of tenuous agreement between DeGrath and Garibaldi was you let a guy into the ambassador wing. Bro,
You can't just do that.
that's too far.
So you know what they did? They got rid of the key codes because remember last episode or the episode before that when Kalane showed up on this and he was just like, he was in the green sector and he was like, I got lost. And the guy's like, oh yeah, you just go down to the core shuttle and go that way. You're not supposed to be in here.
Well, he was just killing people and taking their credentials.
Oh, he didn't kill anybody.
I thought he punched somebody.
He judo chopped a guy, but he didn't
Yeah.
kill him.
Okay, well,
He was already in the green sector, though. He didn't need the credentials. And then remember, Garibaldi just snuck into green sector when he was being chased.
hush.
He went through the Jeffries tubes or whatever. I don't know. It's fine. I guess McGrath got axed because he had bad feedback from the fans on the forums. People didn't like McGrath.
He didn't do well in the focus groups.
No, I can see that. You want to talk about, he's so careful with every other Deus Ex Machina. Like, we can't talk about the planet that's also the biggest plot device in history. The plot device that we're actually rotating around right now. And we can only trot out the Miracle Max machine. I can fix anyone with it occasionally. And yet you create a character that can literally sell or do anything for anyone at any time, as long as there's enough credits on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you make it like a prop thing that's like like a puppet. It's a choice.
I wonder if McGrath's person on the inside was Jack.
Oh.
And so now McGrath doesn't have
A suit, somebody to wear a suit anymore.
the sway,
Yeah.
the means to get.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I
access.
thought you meant person on the inside, literally. I'm caught up now. You mean the person who was funneling him shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm glad McGrath is gone.
And it would make sense that somebody second in command of security would be able to just hand out credentials
like
guns.
like Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why so many guns kept getting on the station.
It was Jack.
It was Jack. I feel like we can blame all the problems on
Let's
him.
keep an eye on future weapons on the station.
Oh, yeah. See if any more get on.
See if the trend is going down.
Yeah. Well, we go to Londo. Well, just to bring us back to
Londo
the
and
episode.
Rifa.
Londo and Rifa. And I like that Lord Rifa is really trying to have a Londo accent. I hesitate to call it a Centauri accent because it's only Londo. And so Rifa is like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And so he's trying to have the Peter Jurassic, whatever accent Peter Jurassic made
Aristocrat,
up for this.
Whatever.
And he's close. I'm gonna say he's pretty close. They sound like
Okay.
they're from the same region. You know, maybe
Okay.
he's from like Centauri, France. Okay, and so Lord Rifa is also from Centauri, France, but maybe like a different country. Like they're close. I get it. It's
Southern
good.
versus northern.
Right. And he's just relaying what happened in Quadrant 37. He's like, we put a monitoring station up there just to keep an eye on the Narn. And then when you said you'd take care of the the problem personally, you sounded like a crazy person. But then our monitors went silent and we were like, holy shit, he actually fucking did it.
So, of note here is Londo's new headpiece.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it, but he's in the back with Veer getting his hair did.
Right.
And not
But
only that,
we get a close up and like the seam on his forehead is
so much better.
way better integrated
Yeah.
with his own.
Oh,
His own
the makeup
with
is
Peter Jurassic skin.
exponentially better.
Yeah.
And we get a different point of view of his quarters. He's repainted. It's much
He's
more
put up a
lush
portrait
look.
of himself.
He put a portrait of himself over the couch. He got rid of
It
his
feels very regal French.
He got rid of his 90s throw pillows. Sent those to wherever they go. Wherever throw pillows go when they die, which I assume is hell. And we
Painted the walls dark.
and we find out he has windows. Windows that look into the center of Babylon 5.
Ah.
That's what's on the wall
missed
behind
that.
him when he's getting his hair cut.
Oh, I thought that was some kind of
It
like
looks like a
architectural
mural.
painting.
But I think it's supposed to be windows facing the interior
inward.
structure.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's like green up the side and there's like buildings, which could easily, like that circle building could easily be like where the
That
rock
could be
garden
the central hub.
or the rock garden or something. I think those are supposed to be windows.
Okay.
So his room doesn't look like royalty by TJ Maxx anymore. It looks like it got an upgrade. But he's like, I would really love to know how you did that, Ambassador. And Londo's like, yeah, I'm sure you would. And then they both look at each other and they're like, like ambition meeting ambition.
Yeah.
Like, I see you. I see you. And he goes, very well. Keep your secrets. What matters is you saved our people from another embarrassing surrender by our idiot emperor. Okay. What an interesting thing to really lead off. This is our first appearance of Londo. Isn't it? Yeah. I think we saw him a little bit last episode, but this is our first like major
Yeah,
story
he was
arc
in
with
last
Londo.
episode talking to Morden.
Yeah. Because we've seen him a little bit, but oh, you're right. See, this is what happens when we try to do too many episodes together. They all kind of run together. But this is his first like major independent plot line, like not Pawn of the Shadows, but like how he's trying to use his new power back home. Because Lord Rifa is here to basically be like, hey, so you did a really good job and you somehow managed to amass a large and aggressive strike force. Like, they're not concerned with the fact that Londo...
They're not concerned with the fact that he did. They're just impressed with him doing it without anybody finding out.
No. Londo, and Londo alone, controls a force that is capable of destroying utterly a 10,000 person colony or outpost or station or whatever without leaving
on a whim
any survivors.
Right.
On a whim. No, and they're all like, oh my God, you did such a good job. Are you not fucking terrified? Would you not be fucking terrified? Where did they come from? Who are they? How is he paying them? What kind of weaponry did they use? They had monitoring stations pointed at Quadrant 37. They were looking. They don't know how he did it. So he was capable of sneaking in, destroying the entire Narn settlement.
No escapees, no survivors.
And then leaving, and no one knows how. I get where they're going with this, that this is like wow, you did a really good job. But also, if I were the emperor, I'd be like, oh no. Oh no. He would be the last person that I would try to recruit for my like independent. Your coup, because he's the one that everybody's going to be like, oh, that fucker's planning a coup. Like, because look at what he was capable of doing. And then he's like, oh yeah, anytime you want it, anytime you just tell me, I'll take care of it. No problem. So not only that, but they are at his disposal whenever.
Yep.
Wherever. However, it doesn't matter. And he did it without the Narns even knowing. Even the Narns didn't capture any images of how he did it.
Right.
And so he's going to talk to him and he's like, we need more people like you, Mollari. And Mollari's like, for what? And then
Rifa looks at Veer, and Londo vouches for Veer.
He's like, oh, he can be trusted. And Veer looks at Rifa like, you would even ask. Like, oh, you son of a bitch. And this is when Rifa's like, listen, the Emperor is like old and sick and his health is failing and his son just died, which apparently his son died in a boating accident. Maybe.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. JMS was like, oh, he died in a boating accident. But then his aide who jumped in the water after him was also found dead. So like, I don't know. He's like, when the time comes, my associates and I intend to fill that vacuum. But it won't be easy. And overcoming that kind of resistance may require force. Your kind of force. Do you think we can count on you, Ambassador? And Londo's like,
Bum, bum, bum.
Are you asking me to commit treason? And he's like, oh no, I'm asking you to take the first step in restoring our people to their rightful place in the galaxy.
Now he's speaking Londo's language.
I know. If you want, I was like, oh, there he goes. He triggered Londo with one sentence. Londo was like, oh, glory, return of glory. What? Okay, yeah, no, whatever you need. He goes, I think we have a great deal of work ahead of us then. And Veer's look at Londo like, Londo, like, no, Londo. And JMS pointed out that Veer, whose character is going to grow in this entire series, especially after this, has the unique position of watching Londo from the front lines
Right. Go through this whole
go through
transformation.
his whole thing because he's like, oh my God, did Londo really just say that? I mean, he got sent off to be the diplomatic attaché to Londo Mollari, who is not your stepping stone to bigger and better things, right?
Right.
So who knows how Veer ended up here? Probably because Veer is a better person than we're even aware of yet.
Yeah, he doesn't play the games.
No, he's not a good game player, but he's a very sincere individual.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work well when you have a culture driven by subterfuge
Deceit.
and
Yeah.
deceit. And then we find out about our subplot.
One of the best
Subplot.
plots in the entire show.
I'm honest. I'm going to be honest. I always forget about the Technomage bullshit. Like, every time
I did not remember the Technomages being in the green and purple episode.
No. I remember green and purple. If you asked me about green and purple, I'd be like, hell yeah. I could probably quote it word for word. I didn't remember the Technomages were in this episode because the green and purple subplot overshadows it because to me, that's how government works.
Yeah.
This is how government works. This is how our last election felt.
Yeah.
Okay? Is the Drazi every 5 years have a conflict, a mini civil war, which is usually violent but not deadly.
Right.
And whatever side gets tired of being beaten up and surrenders is the loser, and the winning side rules the planet for the next 5 years. So that's what's happening, but it has spread off world and it's now happening on Babylon 5. So we get this moment where a fight breaks out, which I like the guy who has to like try to drink an empty bottle and then like throw it to the side like he's the most badass. Like they're filming the Warriors. He's like, oh yeah, I'm about to beat somebody up. And then we go to the introduction. And now our introduction includes New Delenn.
Woohoo!
And actually next week's will include Commander Ivanova.
Oh, they update the title.
Yeah, and JMS was like, it's really funny because we keep having to tweak the
intro.
intro this time. And we come back to Mollari sending Rifa off. He's like, adios, Rifa. You know, you have a great time or whatever. I'll be in touch because Rifa goes, you know, for a long time we've been looking for a sign. And it's time for our people to step forward into history. It's time to start rebuilding what we used to be. And I will try very hard to convince them that you are it. I don't think it would be that hard to convince somebody that this was a sign that Londo Mollari had a lot more power than he previously had admitted to. Because as previously mentioned, Quadrant 37 was a fucking scary boss move that nobody saw coming. And they're all like, oh my God, he did such a great job.
Right. On the surface, it's like, wow. But then
If you
nobody saw it. There were no survivors.
Yeah.
Nobody even escaped. There were no enemy
And
like remnants.
nobody else is taking credit for it. There's no raider groups taking credit for it. There's no other races
Just
taking credit for
silence.
it. No mercenaries nothing on the grapevine that's like, yeah, Londo paid me X amount of dollars to destroy this stupid little Narn thing.
Yeah.
And only a couple of races even have that capability. So anyway, the more you think about it, the less likely it seems that they're all really chill about the fact that he killed 10,000 Narn.
Right. And more that they're scared of him.
And then we get into the Technomage subplot because Londo's watching people come off the ship, which why would the Technomages not have? Well, maybe they're all getting on one ship, so they don't want to bring their individual ships.
I think that's what they're doing.
And he said they don't travel very often. So if you don't travel often, you don't have your own ship.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh shit. Great maker is what he says, but it means oh shit. He's like, oh my God, is that a Technomage? Like a human Technomage? Which JMS said that every race has Technomages.
Okay.
It just happens that these are the human ones.
Okay.
But there's Centauri Technomages, there's Mimbar Technomages, there's Technomages in every group.
Okay.
He's like, we had them back home like a long time ago. They use magic.
So they use science.
But it's science. They use science and technology to mimic the effect of magic. And they even call them spells.
Yeah.
I cast these spells. he's like, oh my God, I haven't seen one in like for fucking ever. They don't leave their places of power. Way to really drive home that they're probably wizards.
Right.
He's like, to even see one of them is a rare thing, and to see more than one is considered a very bad omen. And then 3 of them walk off. And he's like, 3.
And then we find out that there's 100
this
on
is
the station.
definitely not good. And these are not supposed to be like the witches from Macbeth. The 3.
Oh, 3 of them?
Yeah, because he even goes to the witches to try to get their blessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, fuck off. Boil, toil, and trouble over. Fucking there, brother. Like, they don't give him their blessing, but it's
Right.
supposed to be kind of like,
an homage to Macbeth.
yeah, the
That's cool.
ill-fated attempt from Macbeth to, it's not foreshadowing. It's not foreshadowing. Oh, and their clothing is supposed to look like circuit boards, but not an exact representation of circuit boards, like an interpretation of circuit boards.
Yeah.
That's why they have that silver
Okay.
stuff. And JMS was like, yeah, the costume department really turned it out, because I told them what I wanted. I had it written down that was like black with silver that kind of looked like circuits, but not exactly like circuits. And he was like, I was really happy. They did a really good job. And they do look cool. Their costumes look really cool. Yeah. We only see the Technomages in Babylon 5, I think this one time. But they're a main player in Crusade.
Right.
I know, because my sister had the biggest crush on the Technomage in Crusade. All I remember about Crusade, I'll be honest, I've watched it one time, is that the ship is shaped like a sword.
Yep.
and they have one big fucking weapon. And it reminded me
And
of
they always
Lex.
use it once per episode.
It's like the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Where they try everything and they're like, oh, well, fuck it. We'll just blow them up. And then they shoot them with the big thing. Then we come back to the green and purple. And they're getting a briefing, Ivanova and Sheridan. It's like, how long has the fighting been going on? Well, it's been building for the last couple of weeks. It's like a cultural thing.
And this is a cool exterior shot of Sheridan's office. We're looking in through the window.
Oh.
And we get it again when Londo comes to Sheridan's office.
We're really upping the CG game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if we can't create the set, maybe we can create the set.
Yeah, you're just compositing the...
We also did away with the rooms
studio
of
image.
boxes. And now we just have empty corridors in brown ...
Yeah.
Brown et al. Has replaced the box rooms and the corridor of conflict as where all of the shenanigans take place.
Yeah.
And this is Ivanova explaining to Sheridan what the fuck is going on. She's like, yeah, once every 5 years, all the Drazi here and at home, they divide up and then they fight. And he's like, fight to the death? And she's like, nah, they just fight until the loser gives
yield
up
or knockout.
or is knocked senseless.
Like a boxing match.
Yeah.
Like a TKO.
Like a TKO, one might say. And Sheridan's like, okay, all right. Well, the timing of this might actually work out to be like, okay, because I've decided that it's time for you to start learning the fine art of diplomacy. I think I would argue Ivanova already has her own art style of diplomacy.
Yeah. She needs to diversify her diplomacy skill set.
Yes. We need to learn the feather as well as the hammer. Like, we need to learn them both. 'Cause if you can handle the low priority conflicts, it would help me to focus on other problems. I'm like, oh, look at that. He's delegating. This is called delegating. Sinclair, are you looking? Watch how I delegate. And he makes her a commander, which would that not put her on par with Sinclair? Isn't Commander Sinclair?
Yeah. Yep.
Is Captain above Commander?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sheridan outranks.
Sheridan outranks Sinclair.
Okay,
And Sinclair did outrank Ivanova. Although now he's an ambassador, which there's
think it's
like,
to the
there's
right.
your rank and there's your position.
Okay.
It's like Garibaldi has a position of
Yeah, but no rank.
chief of security, but no military rank.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get it eventually, and that's a lie.
But yeah, Ivanova is now the rank that Sinclair was when
Okay.
Sinclair took over the station.
All right. Cool. Okay. So she could technically run the station,
Yeah.
but she just doesn't have enough experience.
Well, she's been running the station.
Yeah, but she's not diplomatic in the way that the running
Right.
person. She could run like the Agamemnon. She probably
Right, she can run the logistics.
Yeah, but she's not the fine touch that she needs to
Right.
be yet.
Is she a people person?
Yes, I would argue she is. Just
Yeah.
like a blunt instrument as a people person.
Yeah.
Like it would help me focus on other problems. Besides, added responsibility comes with any promotion. I know it's annoying and inconvenient, but and Ivana was like, whoa, ho, ho, ho. Did you say promotion? And he's like, yes. Would you like some juice?
It's fresh from the garden.
I made sure they left the pulp in. I think it's the best part. Commander. And he holds the glass out to her.
If you could handle the low priority conflicts, it would help me to focus on the other problems. Besides, added responsibility comes with any promotion. I know it's annoying and inconvenient, but...
Did you say promotion?
Yes, would you like some juice?
And she's like, what? And I guess people thought this was Sheridan downplaying her promotion, like underwhelming her with her promotion, trying to like gloss over it like it was no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And JMS was like, no, he's trying to surprise her.
Yeah.
And I think
This is how you surprise somebody with it.
yeah, this is how I would surprise Ivanova with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just done like a, hey,
Just
it happened. Here you go.
Refer to her by her new rank.
And see what she says.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how you would spring something on me. Because if you didn't, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Explain immediately. So he goes, I pushed through the paperwork the day after I got here. I think you more than earned it. And I think she definitely did. She's like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. And he's like, I mean, you could say thank you. And she's like, well, thank you. And he's like, great. Now go take care of the Drazi problem.
There you go. First task as Commander Ivanova.
Yes. Go solve the problem of the Drazi. And he's like, if you'll excuse me, I have to go visit somebody. And then he just sachets off and she's like, yes. And then she turns around and sees a bunch of Drazi fighting on the monitor. And she's like, no.
And then we get this short technomage scene
Yeah.
where nobody's saying, they're just drawing
He
symbols
draws
in the
like
air.
his technomage name in the air or
Yeah.
whatever. And then they like
then walk
break dance
silently on.
and I don't know what happens. It's fine. The technomages are such a moment. And this brings up a thing that I haven't really felt like talking about, but like this is a good moment to put it in there, which is we got one comment on the YouTube channel, which I thought was interesting. And I don't remember if I responded to it or not, but they were making the point that they felt like some of J. Michael Straczynski's themes and humor feel childish
Mm-hmm.
or immature. And they do. I don't care. I think the mark of a heightened sensibility is an ability to be immature and not give a shit.
Embrace your whimsy.
Because I don't need to prove to you that I am an adult. So if I laugh at a poop joke because it's funny, I don't give a shit. I will laugh at the poop joke. Okay? So that's not what I'm saying. But I feel like the technomages are a good example of like, this feels like something that a teenager would have written into this. The like,
Yeah.
what if they have magic, but the magic is like technology and they can like cast spells that makes people like buy shares in companies and shit. Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like he got high with somebody and was like, well, okay, listen. Okay, like what if they could like cast math spells and shit and they could like write stuff in the air, but with like holograms
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And that's what the technomages feel like. And I feel like in Crusade, they get enough mystical ambiguity, but also fill in the blanks that they make a lot more sense. But for this, to introduce the concept of the technomage for one episode and one episode only is such a weird and bold move.
Mm-hmm.
Because they literally, like the guy literally shows up, he draws a symbol in the air and they're like, you may come in. But in the background, there's like a light on the wall. And I wrote, is that going to wash off? They've clearly spelled the corridor.
Yeah.
And then they've put a floodlight in down at the end that like flashes red occasionally. And it's just where is this corridor? Why have they been allowed to take it over completely? How long have they been here? How permanent are these spells? Do they actually have to install technology in order to do this? Are they all generating these holograms directly from their person? Have they hacked into the systems of Babylon 5 to create these light effects? What did they do to the wall? Is that also a projection? Do they have some kind of technology that they have installed to create a force field that would prevent people from walking down the corridor? Or is this corridor literally so... Did they get a group rate? Did they get 100 berths down this corridor and they took it over?
They rented out the whole section.
Right? Because this is not, it's fine, but this is not the most stellar example of his writing that I have ever seen in my entire life. Green and purple is. The Techno Mage section is so weird and so... Normally, I'm okay because leaving things unfleshed out gives you a lot of leeway to sort of fill in with your own imagination, which is generally better or more elaborate than anything that someone could try to explain to you in a short form television show. But not this. This is a step beyond. And then to shoehorn Londo into this, okay, we're gonna get there. Because then Veer walks up to Londo. Londo's like sitting in the Zocalo having a drink. And he's like, oh my God, Ambassador, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. The Abai delegation is waiting for you. I mean, they had an appointment. They really want to talk about, and he doesn't say because Londo grabs him and sits him down. And he's like, I mean, okay, all right. You know, on the other hand, if you wanted to sit here for a while, I guess. And Londo goes, Veer, do you believe in fate? This reminds me of this one time I was at a bookstore. I might have been working at the bookstore at the time. And this lady came in to, I think, try to like minister to me. She definitely had that like, I'm here to talk to you about the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ. And she was like, how do you feel about Jesus? What do you think about when you think about Jesus? And
that happened to me once when I worked at Walmart.
And I said, I think Jesus is a cyclical, it's like a cyclical force that reappears in times of need. I made up this whole thing about like, I was like, there's Jesus and there's Krishna.
Yeah.
And there's like Gilgamesh and there's, we have these stories of the one great man or one great force or one great entity or whatever that reappears.
Who sacrificed themselves for the benefit of humanity.
Yeah, like the Jesus story is word for word. I think what happens to Set, I think it's Set in Egypt. Like as far back as you want to go, we have this figure, this hero figure who is at least partially divine.
Yep.
And I was like,
and it gets refined and psychologized.
Yeah. And I was like, so I think it's either an actual force that repeats itself or it is simply a narrative device that we use over and over again.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh. Oh, am I not fertile ground? Sorry, bro. But that's what it feels like for Veer, because Veer's like, oh, I mean, actually, I think
there are currents.
There are currents, and they kind of drift through the universe, and there's like eddies and tides, and they pull us and they push us, and some of them are good, and some of them we need to fight, but the ones that are good and the ones that we need to fight all kind of look the same. And I mean, sometimes there are currents that are going to make us stronger, and there's some that are going to destroy us. And
he just keeps going and going and going.
I love this. And Londo just goes, Veer! And he's like, oh, what? Yes. Yes or no? And Veer goes, yes. Kind of.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Okay. Why? He's like, okay, hang on. Let me refocus.
I need to figure out what I was talking about. That was a lot, Veer. Maybe you and Lanier should talk to each other.
Well, they do. They start hanging out, remember?
That's why he has this whole
Yeah, maybe.
rant.
Because he's been, well, I think
He and Lanier have been hashing
Veer
some things
is
out.
alone too long. I don't think Veer has very many people to talk to. So he probably has a lot of time to just sit there and be like, maybe it's like a tide. Maybe it comes and goes. And like, maybe you're supposed to go with some tides and not with others. And then when Londo asked him, he's like, oh, I can finally say it to somebody. He's like, they're looking for a sign back home. And our first emperor took the throne of this entire republic. He consulted with 3 technomages. Macbeth again. Or Mackers, as they say, because Macbeth is like the cursed play.
Oh.
Yeah. Who gave him their blessing because of all the witch stuff, because the witches actually chant in it. So it's like a Shakespeare thing. It's fine. He's like, Now that's a powerful image. If I could get them to sign off on, if I could get them to give me their blessing, I mean, that would be quite the thing. And I'm like, okay, but this feels like such a dumb. Londo would never. I just don't think Londo would ever be like, I'm gonna get the blessing of these techno mages. Well, he would do the first part, which is send Veer.
Yeah.
Go talk to them, see if they'll do it. One thing, Veer's crest is a lot taller now and a lot more coherent, just like Londo's.
Yeah.
And I also felt like in this episode, a lot of the dialogue sounded like it had been recorded and added later. There's like a sound to dialogue that is happening in real time, and then there's like a disembodiedness to dialogue. And it's especially apparent at the very beginning when Dr. Franklin and Garibaldi are talking. It feels like a lot of their dialogue was re-recorded, and I wonder if it was. This is another moment where it feels like it. But Londo gets up to leave. He's like, okay, go talk to them, arrange it. Tell them I would like them to use their considerable influence to grant me a little bit of gravitas back home. So you go talk to them. And Veer's like, well, I really don't want to. He's like, oh, okay, you go, fine. And then Veer drinks Londo's drink. And he's like,
takes a step
okay,
and collapses.
And then passes out.
Oh, poor Veer.
I know. And then we come back.
He was just trying to get some liquid courage.
Yeah. And then he just couldn't handle it. So there's really 3 things that are happening in this episode. There's the Technomage plot, which I could take or leave. It feels like TKO, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's the green and purple, which I love. And then there's this Garibaldi thing that's happening. And it's such an interesting thing to include because when he's sitting there in this scene and he's taking the clip in and out of his gun, it's supposed to be implied that he's thinking about killing himself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the implication when someone is sitting there compulsively cleaning a gun.
Yeah.
Alone.
By himself.
Yeah.
After a major life event.
Yep.
And we don't directly address it, except through the body language of the actors. And they are both absolutely crushing it.
Yeah. I started nicknaming them Sherry and Gary.
I should never have given you access to notes. This is going to backfire. But somebody knocks on the door, and Garibaldi's like, okay, come in. Come on in, even though he's in a moment. Yeah. This is a great moment for Sheridan to show up.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like...
Very fortuitous.
It feels like the type of thing that a very good diplomat would realize. Garibaldi is isolating himself. He is capable of coming back to work, but has not yet come back to work. I think he might be in crisis.
Yeah.
And so he shows up and he's like...
And Sheridan has the experience for recognizing this kind of thing. Because he's been leading men in a battle position.
He's been out on the rim.
Yeah.
For 2 years with people who are isolated for that long.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas Sinclair has had a lot less command experience than Sheridan has.
That we know of, yeah. Because we don't know what Sinclair was doing before he got sent to Babylon 5.
Well, yeah, but during the war, like the Battle of the Line.
Yeah, he's just in a Star Fury. He's like the head of a wing.
Right. He's a
wing commander.
He's a lead fighter pilot, right? That's his skill set.
Yeah.
And he gradually got promoted and stuff, but Sheridan's been doing this just as long, and he's a captain.
Yeah.
And he
could be as young as 37. But he's like, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Is like Sinclair would have recognized it because he knows Garibaldi.
Right, and he would have had the camaraderie.
Sheridan recognizes it because he knows people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he pops up, and Garibaldi stands up, somewhat reluctantly, puts his gun down, and he's like, hey, Captain. And Sheridan's like, well, I've kind of been expecting you for some time to come by, get your job back. And since you hadn't, I decided I'd bring the mountain to Muhammad after all. And he's like, it's good to see you on your feet. I talked to Dr. Franklin, and he said you can come back to work, anytime that you want to. What do you say? And Garibaldi's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really ready to come back or if you want me to come back. And if you really want me to come back is like heartbreaking. Jerry really pulls it out for that line. He's like, maybe, it'd just be easier on everybody if I just resigned and moved on. And Sheridan's like,
Doesn't even try to reassure him.
He's like,
Just says,
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, but the universe doesn't give us any points for doing things that are easy.
Or if you want me to come back. Maybe it'd just be easier on everybody if I resigned and moved on.
Probably. The universe doesn't give you any points for doing things that are easy.
And while he's saying that, he puts the gun back in the holster.
Sheridan does?
Mm-hmm. He leans down and takes Garibaldi's gun and puts it back in its holster. And he's like, you don't really get any points for doing the easy thing.
Yep.
Even if it sounds like it's a good idea right now. I don't think it's going to play out the way you think it's going to. He goes, your record is colorful, to say the least.
I wrote that Sheridan has a way better smile than Sinclair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Bruce Boxleitner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, charm the
The
pants
charmer.
off you. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. That's why I think when we pegged him totally when we said Bard.
Yeah.
He's also better at the verbal dance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cold up here sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, he's more...
I'm saying something, but I'm not just saying the thing that I'm saying.
Right.
When he says, the universe doesn't give us any points for doing things that are easy.
Mm-hmm.
He's specifically calling Garibaldi out on what he's contemplating doing right now.
Yep.
Like, I get what you're thinking right now, but that's just the easy way. And you're not going to get any points for taking the easy way out. And I don't think you're the kind of person that takes the easy route.
Yeah.
And he's like, everything I've heard suggests that you know the station better than anybody else. And I would be an idiot to throw away such a valuable resource without at least trying to work together. He's like, I need somebody I can trust. Clearly, I can trust you because they tried to kill you.
Right.
I mean,
that's a lot of points in your favor.
As far as getting vouched for not being on the side of the bad guys trying to kill you is a pretty good.
Right. And on your deathbed, you're trying to prevent a catastrophe.
The first thing he said when he wakes up.
Immediately when you wake up.
Yeah.
Did it work? Okay, this guy's committed to his
all
job.
Right. He's like, if you decide you'd rather be someplace else, I get it. I'll understand. If you decide you'd rather do something else, I'll understand. But I will hold your job open for you. So, don't take too long.
He doesn't say if you'd rather do something else.
No, he said if you'd rather be someplace else,
which is...
But I was
phrasing it
in terms of like, I get the decision that you're contemplating right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to blame you if that's a thing that you do. But you don't have to because your job's waiting for you. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
And I really think we can make this work. But don't keep me waiting. Creating a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Like, I am waiting for you. I am anticipating you. Right. Someone is looking for you.
I'm being patient.
Yeah.
But I can't keep this up
I'm
indefinitely.
not taking pity on you.
Right.
I'm asking you to come back because you think you're good at your job. But if you're not going to do it, I'll give it to somebody else. But I'd rather it be you. Let me come back to Ivanova trying some diplomacy.
Ivanova and the Drazi.
After that really emotionally charged scene.
Right?
She's like, as we know, we're all having a bit of a problem here. You guys keep trying to beat each other senseless with blunt instruments, banging against bulkheads, pounding, mugging, jumping, generally carrying on cranky.
It's disruptive.
On the muscle, as my mom would say. You guys are just on the muscle. She's like, well, some of the other species wouldn't mind if you guys just wiped each other out. Even they would prefer that you did so quietly. So let's figure out how to get our shit all back in line so that we can move forward together. She's like, okay, between the two sides that you have here, what is the nature of your conflict?
And I feel like this is Ivanova using her existing skill set to try to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And she's trying to use rationality
In an
to
irrational
investigate
problem.
something that is inherently irrational.
Right. Politics. This
Yeah.
is a good crash course in the fact that very often the problem will not be rational. Because they're like, okay, green, purple. She's like, I get it. I get it. You have two factions, green, purple. Okay. How do you disagree with each other? And they're like, green, purple. She's like, okay, yes, I get it. But who wears purple and who wears green? And they literally say they put enough purple and green sashes in a bucket
For all the Drazi.
to cover all the Drazi. And then you draw your color from the bucket. And if you draw green, you're green. And if you draw purple, you're purple. And she's like, okay, how do you decide who's the leader? And they're like, oh, that's easy. One scarf has the leader pin on it. And if you get the leader pin, you're a leader.
Which this is like a documented, like investigated way to run a bureaucracy.
Just to have two sides.
Random selection.
You know what it reminds me of? Somewhat. Actually, not even at all, but like a little bit. Is in World War Z when they talk about the 10th man and how if not all 9 people agree, then it's the job of the 10th person to disagree.
Yeah, and follow through on it.
And follow through on figuring out why they might be wrong.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of investigations. I read something a while back where they had a whole bunch of like high schools, like the high school government, whatever. And they were trying to play out different election styles. And so they had some like, ranked choice where if you're below a threshold, you designate where your votes will go next.
Yeah.
Or people pick like choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. And if their choice 1 is below a certain threshold, their vote gets applied to their choice 2 and whatever until there's a majority. And then there's one where it's literally just pick a random person and have them do the job. And so they did this across a whole bunch of high schools. And they found that I think ranked choice did the best, but it was only a little bit better than random selection. Just randomly
That's
selecting
because
a person.
Usually the
to
type
run
of
it.
person that wants the job is not the best person for
Right.
the job. Not
They have an
always.
ulterior motive.
Sometimes, but not always.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pave over the rose garden for no fucking reason. It's fine. I'm not mad about it. It's fine. Anyway, he's like, they fight, 2 people fight, two groups fight until they're one. And that's it. And she's like, that's it? It's totally random. It's totally arbitrary. And I like this system. I have no quibble with the green and purple, obviously. I've talked about it on like 17 podcasts because it's one of my best examples of how government, I think, actually works. But, it's not a death. It's not to the death.
Right.
So if you knock out a green and they come back, they continue being green.
Right.
So how do you decide when one wins and when one doesn't win? It would make more sense if you could knock somebody unconscious, you swapped out their scarf for purple.
Or, yeah.
So or
you
green.
just took it away from them and they're out of the game.
Right. To treat it like a game.
Yeah.
If it's not a deadly conflict. Because in the end, the only way this can work out is as a deadly conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Unless their population used to be so much smaller that it worked out better. And now the population is so large, that's why it's going to.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out. Never, because we never come back to this. But they do it for like a year. You know what it is? There's a timeline on it.
Yeah, it lasts for a year.
But still, there has to be a way for you to increase your numbers and decrease their numbers without death. Unless people are like, I'm tired of getting beaten up. I'm stepping out.
Yeah, and I think basically you get one side, like it ends up being like groups,
Yeah.
like this region or this space station or whatever, eventually green is going to say, okay, like green leader is going to say, we give up. Purple wins this region.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of like Risk. So anyway, she's like, okay, all right. So what you're saying is, and she has two of them come up. She's like, if I just take this guy's purple scarf off and put it on this guy, this alone is enough to start up. And then they all start fighting and they end up knocking her over. And this is when her foot gets broken, even though her foot's already broken. Okay. I mean, it's fine, but diplomatically speaking, removing the scarf and putting it on somebody else was an interesting move. It's a good learning moment.
Right.
It's a good learning moment.
She's exploring the dynamics.
Yeah. And this is when Veer goes to the Technomages. He's like, hello. Hello, I'm Veer Koto, diplomatic attaché to Ambassador Londo Malaria of this entire republic.
Excuse me.
I'm told by the people running that way that this is where I can find the Technomages. It's like, I'm here on behalf of Ambassador Malaria and I need to speak to someone who's in charge. And then he hears like, roar, because I put in my notes, Belrog much? Because there's like red lights and then this CG monster starts walking down towards him. He's like, obviously, it would be at your earliest convenience. And then he just starts repeating, my name is Veer Koto.
Repeating his introduction.
Until Elric pops up and he's like, stop program. And I said, it would have had more of an effect if he had to use a magic word. Like terminate or something. Something more dramatic than end program, end of line.
A little anticlimactic.
It's fine. And he goes, you don't frighten easy. And Veer goes, I work for Ambassador Malari. After a while, nothing bothers you.
You don't frighten easily.
I work for Ambassador Malari. After a while, nothing bothers you.
And this was the part where I wrote in my notes about the like immature humor / sitcom style humor that he sometimes has, because this feels very sitcom.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It also feels very early comic humor.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that was what he really was raised on, was early comic books. And so it makes sense that his style of humor
mirrored that.
Yeah. I mean, ours is very early 2000s, the like Happy Tree Friends and Salad Fingers. I showed Salad Fingers to the kids the other day. They were like, what the fuck is this? They didn't say fuck, but that was the overall vibe.
They do like Charlie the Unicorn.
They like Charlie, which apparently Charlie has quite a bit of other things, including like llamas with hats. And it's like, our daughter loves llamas with hats. I think she loves the idea of loving something that I also love more than she loves the actual things, but they can't with Salad Fingers. I like rusty kettles.
It's just a little too far out there.
You watch it now and you're like, what? I remember dying laughing to Salad Fingers. Anyway, we are shaped by the humor that was present in our formative years. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in loving immature humor. There's no shame in loving stupid television shows. There's no shame in any of that. We don't subscribe to cringe here. I believe we had a treatise on cringe. I don't remember what episode it was in, but we went off about cringe for quite a while. And it's just basically bullshit, honestly.
Cringe is
fucking bullshit.
A way to shame people.
Get out of my face with cringe. I don't care. Am I cringe? Probably exponentially so, yes.
Oh, yeah.
My niece can't even. She's better now. She's just still my Gen Z niece, but she's not a teenager anymore. Oh, she was like 17 when we started podcasting, and now she's not a teenager, which, okay. And every once in a while, she'll listen to an episode to put herself to sleep, which is, I think, hysterical. And she's like, you guys need to watch how you talk about me. And I'm like, no, I don't. Nobody knows who you are. I can say whatever I want. Anyway, am I cringe to her? Oh my God, so much so. Do I care? Not even like the tiniest little bit. Sorry. No, I've been cringe my entire life. You got to come up with something new. You want to shame me, you got to come up with something new.
Right.
I don't give a shit. So love what you love, I guess, is what we're going with that. And I will now continue with the episode. Because Veer's like, yeah, so my employer requests an audience. And the Technomage guy's like, Yeah, I don't.
We don't do private
I
audiences.
don't do private audiences, and neither do any of my brothers or sisters.
We have nothing more to say to anyone on this side of the galactic rim.
And Veer's like,
so we know roughly. We know what direction they're going.
yeah, we know they're going beyond the rim. We're gonna get there. Don't get ahead of me. We're gonna get there. Because Veer's like, I'm willing to pay, and he's like, okay, money is irrelevant. Where we're going, we don't need roads. We're not gonna need money. It's gonna be fine. And Veer's like, okay, let me put this another way. If
Appeal to mercy.
If I go back without a yes, the personal consequences will be very unfortunate. And he's like, okay, yeah, well, if you force us to walk where we don't want to walk, the personal consequences will even be more unfortunate to her. Extra, more. The extra most bestest unfortunateness. You'll be sorry. He's like, oh, okay. Can I at least get a name? And the guy tells him his name is Elric. And then he says, there is an old saying, do not try the patience of wizards, for they are subtle and quick to anger. Which is not exactly a Lord of the Rings quote, but it is a Lord of the Rings quote, which means Lord of the Rings exists in the Babylon 5 universe.
Of course it does. It's our future.
Apparently the expect me when you see me from Jakar in the previous episodes is also a Lord of the Rings quote. I think Gandalf says that. Expect me when you see me. And then he goes, do not come again, Veer Coathole. I've claimed this section of Babylon 5 in the name of the Technomage Nation for the next 72 hours. Okay. And this is when Ivanova is like, oh, come on. Because she's talking to Dr. Franklin. Because remember, she got hurt. And he's like, okay, your foot is broken in 3 places. And I fused the largest break. But the other 2 are like tiny little bones. And if I try to fuse them, you're going to lose some agility. I mean, I can speed up the healing process, but that's the best I can offer. And you have to wear a
By
cast.
putting on a cast.
And it's going to hurt. And she's like, oh, great. Great. And he's like, I mean, I can give you something for the pain. And she goes, now you can give me something for the pain? Where were you when I went through puberty? And he's like, what?
I wonder if that was an improv line.
I doubt it. I think it's just supposed to be how sometimes Ivanova is a little bit weird. A little cringe, one might say. But we love her anyway because cringe is a bullshit concept. She goes, you know what? No, it's okay. I'll get used to it. Which means he didn't give her any pain meds prior to fusing the bone. And he has not given her any pain meds right now. And he does not give her pain meds.
Well, she turns down the pain meds. I think she doesn't want her judgment clouded.
Okay, so they don't have non-narcotic pain medication? He can't give her fucking Tylenol or something?
Or Aston.
Aston, yeah. Maybe she can take over-the-counter pain meds, but she doesn't want something from him. I wouldn't take any drugs from Dr. Franklin either. Hey, you want something for the pain? Nope.
Let me just take a quick blood sample here.
No, it's just fine. I'll make you something tailor-made, specific. You're going to love it. Nope. She goes, if it gets too bad, I'll just nod off at the ankle. This is when Sheridan pops up and she's like, oh, hey, Captain. And he goes, Commander? Doctor, can I speak to her for a minute? And then the doctor just fucking leaves. He leaves. He's not like, oh, yeah, I'll come back and finish helping her in a minute. He's just like, okay, bye. And he leaves. And she goes, not exactly an auspicious beginning to my diplomatic career. And he's like, well,
I like this line. He says, we learn by doing.
Yeah. And he goes, sometimes you fall on your face while you're learning, although I didn't think you'd take it quite this literally. And then he goes, so what's your next move?
I always tell the kids when they're like, I don't know how to do that. The
they hate
first
this.
step to being good at something
Is being bad at it.
Or I swap it around. Being bad at something is the first step to being good at something.
Yeah. You got to start where you start.
Yeah.
And you don't get anything without trying. You got to make the effort. You can't just type a prompt into something.
That's the part where you skip the learning process.
Yeah. That's why I hate the fucking
And
argument about how it's it's like
you surrender all agency
Yeah.
to this statistics machine
Yeah.
that
Yep.
shits something out
Shit something out.
that
Yep.
may or may not be salvageable.
Sorry, I've been reading too much about AI. I need to get off of it because it just is infuriating because the argument that it's like I should be allowed to write a book with ChatGPT because I'm not a good writer. But I think I want to write a book, but I'm not a good writer. So I should be allowed to use it because that gives me the opportunity that I deserve to write a book. If you want to be a writer and you want to be a good writer, you will put the effort in to learn how to write.
Right. Because
like every writer
it's
has
the process.
done before you.
It's the process of writing that has the value.
How can I take a piece of myself and put it into artwork if I don't spend the time learning how to do that?
Right.
And the time that I spend, this is what happens when you have a fully results-driven sentiment in your society, where only the end result is what matters. The journey is fuck all. Who gives a shit? It's like when I used to do pottery full-time and people would be like, why are your cups $25? Well, because I've been doing this for 10 years and you're paying for my time, my expertise, and my knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I have worked untold number of hours to learn how to make that fucking coffee cup. So you have to pay $25 for it. You want to go pay $2.99 for one that got shit out on a machine at Target? Go off. I don't care. Have the same coffee cup that 100 other people, 1,000, 1,000,000 other people have. No problem. I made that coffee cup myself with my hands. That's why it's $25. Now, if there was a machine that could 3D print that coffee cup, the exact coffee cup, because I had fed in 100,000 different coffee cup variations and it produced the one that it thought would be the most aesthetically pleasing based on a prompt that I put in there. And I had to do nothing except put the prompt in. Is it still the same level of artistry?
No.
Is it still a cup and can it still hold water? Yes.
Yep.
But does that make it art? No, because nothing in that cup came from me except the prompt. And it's fine. I get it. I know. I'm sorry. I'm going off on AI because I really need to stop reading about it. But as someone who did art.
And the stuff that I read about AI and as I'm studying about it and playing around with it a little bit, because work's kind of making me try whatever. Yeah. From my perspective, using large language models, agents, whatever, really only helps you be more productive when you're already good at the thing that you're trying to get the AI to help you do.
Yeah.
And when you don't know what you're doing, you end up producing something bad because you don't know enough about the subject to determine. What's the line about your taste is exceeding your ability?
I don't know, but I do know that we come at the AI argument from two different directions, which is really unique and interesting because you see it from an entirely technical perspective. And I did art. Like I was a full-time potter. I was a full-time artist. I've been a full-time muralist. Now I do podcasting. I've done all kinds. I love to write. Have I ever published anything? No, but that's an entirely different story. I am well aware that I need to put more effort into the things that I want to be successful at, and I'm willing to do that because it is a thing that I love. And then to watch AI undermine that entire culture has been heartbreaking. I think especially because artists of my age have been here from the advent of the digital art. Like when I started, Photoshop was brand new. Brand fucking new. Mm-hmm. The only thing anybody did with it was like make gradients and shit. Like it wasn't a thing that anybody did as like serious artwork. Now you would have a hard time finding artwork that was not digital.
Right.
It almost feels anachronistic to use. When I see people using markers or paint or whatever, it's like, oh, wow. That's unexpected.
I found the quote. It's
Okay.
it's from Ira Glass. Nobody tells this to people who are beginners. I wish someone told me. All of us who do creative work, we get into it because we have good taste. But there is a gap. For the first couple years you make stuff, it's just not that good. It's trying to be good. It has potential, but it's not. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, is still killer. And your taste is why your work disappoints you. A lot of people never get past this phase. They quit. Most people I know who do interesting creative work went through years of this. We know our work doesn't have this special thing that we want it to have. We all go through this. And if you are just starting out, or if you are still in this phase, you got to know it's normal, and the most important thing you can do is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Put yourself on deadline so that every week you will finish one story. It is only by going through a volume of work that you will close that gap, and your work will become as good as your ambitions. And I took longer to figure out how to do this than anyone I've ever met. It's going to take a while. It's normal to take a while. You've just got to fight your way through it. And so the idea that your ability to evaluate how good your work is, or how good any piece of work is in a particular domain, and your ability to produce work that you can objectively evaluate as really good, there's a gap.
Yeah.
And as you get better at it, you actually refine your taste more and more, your ability to evaluate more and more. So the gap doesn't close, like, you don't close the gap straight away. The whole thing is sliding because your ability to evaluate critically is improving as your skill is improving. And so somewhere along the line, your skill has surpassed your initial taste or your ability to evaluate critically, but your ability to evaluate critically has also improved.
Yeah.
And so this gap, it gets closer and closer, but it takes, a
Years.
decade
Years.
to match up your skill with your taste.
Right. Well, I think, like I was saying, I was there for the advent of digital art. And I remember the arguments of it's divorcing artwork from the technical aspect of art, which is learning how to use oil paints, learning the limitations of acrylic paints, learning how to create a watercolor painting that isn't muddy, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And then to watch it go from digital art is robbing us of the technical, the technical use of artwork, to digital art. It can now be produced by anyone with a prompt at any time. And so it has divorced you even from the technical aspect of creating the art.
But even with the generative AI artwork, you still can't shape the final product without the ability to do the thing in the first place.
You can't evaluate it critically.
Right. You can't evaluate it critically, and you can't actually...
You can make it and shitpost it.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to tweak it and modify it to match what's in your head, well, a lot of times there's not a thing in your head.
Right. Right. That's the whole thing. I want to be an artist, but oops, it takes too long.
You're skipping that whole learning process.
This feels like when we had the discussion earlier this week about the crippling nature of convenience and the way that convenience culture has broken
convenience
community.
Undermines community.
Yeah. And the fact that we are so reliant on convenience. And so what is more convenient than AI?
And we're so used to it. We expect it.
Yeah. We demand it. We demand
We take
convenience.
it for granted that things will be convenient.
Yeah. We moved to an area that is entirely inconvenient. There's
Way
rural,
the fuck out there.
and then there's where we live. It is an hour to a grocery store. Not the grocery store I like, but just a place where I can buy groceries. It's entirely inconvenient. I did this deliberately. We did this deliberately. I want to live an inconvenient life. I want to appreciate and work for and love the things I own because it is hard for me to replace them. And I want my children to have that too. And so we moved somewhere wildly inconvenient. And the community and camaraderie of the people that live in our immediate vicinity is something we have not found anywhere else in a very long time. And we have moved a lot. And it is wild how quickly we have found a community here. When we lived in the last place for over 5 years, and I think we made one or two friends.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful we did that. And this has nothing to do with Babylon 5, and we have completely departed. But this is the content you come to us for. That's what I like to add that to the end because it reassures me that, you know what, if you skipped ahead like 5 minutes and you found us again, you're welcome. We're back. I'm gonna reel us back. This is a strange and beautiful book club tangent.
We learn by doing.
Oh, is that what it was?
And in the process, you're going to fall on your face a few times.
So we agree with Sheridan.
Yes.
And long story short.
100%.
TL:DR. We are 100% on board with Sheridan. Especially his like, nope, you got this. I don't care that you failed. Okay, great. You learned something.
What's your next
Not
move?
a problem. Not a problem. What's your next move? And she's like, well, I was thinking about firing them into the sun. And he goes,
Other than that.
Yeah, okay. And she goes, on the other hand, I started this and I'm going to finish it. And so resolving their differences didn't work because they don't have any to resolve. So maybe I have to come at this from another angle, like maybe get them to find a non-violent way to structure the conflict so that nobody gets hurt. And he's like, great, I agree with you 100%. Sounds like a great idea. Keep me informed. And she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You don't want to like supervise or anything? And he's like, no, I have absolute trust in your abilities. And Ivanova goes, well, that's a hell of a thing to tell somebody.
No pressure.
No pressure. Fine. And then she calls security and she's like, tell the Drazi we'll meet in chambers. We're going to try this again as soon as I can figure out how to stand up.
And she struggles to get off the table.
Yeah. And then we come back to Veer talking to Londo and he's like, and then he said, don't come here again. And he does like an imitation of the guy. And Londo's
of
like,
Elric.
That's it? And he's like, unacceptable. You have to go back. And he's like, no, it won't work. They're not for sale. And Londo's like, I don't know what that means.
Money doesn't matter to them. Power doesn't matter to them.
He goes, money and power always matter. And Veer's like, not to them. That's the most Centauri thing that Londo's ever said. He's like, what do you mean? Money and power always matter. He goes, I don't think it's a good idea for anyone to get between them and where they're going. Being seen with them, getting their blessing back home, that would be a really powerful symbol. But I don't think it's going to happen, Londo. And Londo's like, well, I guess what you're saying is they won't come to me, so I have to go to them. Or perhaps they will go to someone else, someone they can't ignore. And then he's like, he scuttles off. Crab fingers. And this is when Garibaldi's walking through the Zocalo, thinking about his life choices. And Lou pops up and he's like, hey, nice prison shirt. I really like the stripes. No, he doesn't say that, but he should. And he goes, we were wondering when you're going to come back. And he's like, I really don't know. And he's like, oh, okay, so we bought a cake. Okay, we bought a cake.
I like this moment with Garibaldi and Lou.
Yeah, he goes, it's been sitting there for 2 days now. And we're just wondering if we can eat it or like, are you coming back? You're like, it's a cake, man. And he goes, oh my God, you passed up a cake for 2 days? What's the deal?
Who are you?
And what
did you do with real Lou Welch?
Security over here. We got another guy with a changeling net. And apparently they wanted this to feel awkward. So they edited in a long pause before Lou was like, that's really funny, Chief. Because they wanted it to seem like Garibaldi was trying to turn it out for Lou, but that his heart wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Like he said the joke, but he didn't feel the joke.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so seriously, Chief, when are you coming back? And he's like, oh, I don't know, soon, real soon. Yep. And then Lou Welch gets pulled away because there's another Drazi fight. And he's like, I got to go. Catch you later. And then he just leaves. And then we come back to Londo and Sheridan. And this is a weird moment. And I don't really want to go through this line by line because, like...
Right. And this,
what the fuck?
This also has the same exterior shot of Sheridan's office.
Well, we made it. We got to use it.
Right?
So this is a weird moment. This whole, from here on out, the Londo Sheridan Technomage moment is so strange.
Yeah.
Because Londo's like, hey, you know those crazy technomages? And Sheridan's like, oh yeah, I just got a security briefing about them. You should, because they've taken over half your station and installed technology. You should have gotten a security briefing about them. And Londo's like, well, I have like a lot of experience with them. So
security's concerned because they can't access the cameras in there anymore. Cameras? We have cameras
we
in
have
the
cameras?
hallways?
When did we have cameras? Oh, since the technomages got here. But he's like, they're like, they can be a great source of trouble, like, unless you know how to deal with them. And like, I know how to deal with them. Like, I'm
an old hat.
I'm kind of good at this, and you're inexperienced in such matters, but like, no offense. And Sheridan goes, none taken. No offense intended, none comprehended. It's like, it occurred to me that I could be, like, of some assistance in averting trouble, and I wrote, was Sheridan warned about Londo?
Right, because he's like, oh yeah, no offense taken. Because I have no respect for you.
I know. And then he goes, what would you be getting out of it? And then my next note was, yep, he was informed about Londo. He goes, oh, just a clear conscience and a peaceful sleep. And Sheridan's like, well, as it so happens, I just heard about them earlier, and Earth wants more information before letting them go. What do you mean, letting them go? Are you going to take them prisoner? Or are you going to refuse them transport off of Babylon 5 unless it's back to Earth? What do you imagine Earth is going to be able to do in this scenario? Why does Earth believe it has the authority to detain the technomages?
Or is this just poor phrasing?
No, because later when he's arguing with the technomage guy, he's like, I need questions answered. Earth wants answers. And the technomage guy is like, here's
Fuck
my
you.
one middle finger. Here's the other middle finger. This one's named fuck, and this one's named you. Off is down there. Like, fuck off, okay? I'm not telling you. And okay, we're going to get there, because when Sheridan goes to talk to the technomage guy by himself, because Londo somehow convinces Sheridan to set up a meeting. He's like, well, I needed to do a meeting anyway. It'd be great to have you there because I can get the measure of Londo, and I can also get the measure of this guy, and either you're helpful or I learned something. Right. I mean, fear the man who is not afraid to fail, okay?
Right.
Because that fucker will do anything, and that's Sheridan. He's like, I'm going to take this on. I'm going to take you on because I'm confident in my ability to get myself out of shit if you get us into shit, and I'm going to learn a lot about you by doing this. And so he has Londo come when he meets with the technomage, but before Londo gets there, the technomage, Elric, and Sheridan are yelling at each other. Because Elric is like, I don't have to tell you anything. He goes, Captain, I insist that neither I nor my clan represent any threat to this station. And Sheridan's like, so you say. Bitch, they've been here a week. Have they done anything at all? Even a tiny little... You didn't even know they were here until 5 hours ago. He goes, something comes to my attention. I have to look into it. And there's an awful lot of you. Now, this is fair. If there's 100 of these people here, he should... It makes sense to have a chat, but not to be all mad about it.
Right.
He goes, why are you refusing to tell Earth where you're going? Oh, I don't know, because it's none of Earth's fucking business. He goes, we have the right to go where we wish, when we wish, with as many as we wish, without being harassed, questioned, or detained. Correct. What kind of government does Earth have that they have the authority to detain a large group of people like this simply because they are a large group of people of interest?
They're ICE.
Yeah. The implication here is that they have every right to stop these people if they think they shouldn't be allowed to leave. Like, hold on, you have technology we might need, you have to stay. I don't care if you don't want to share it, you're going to share it.
Realistically, it's because you guys have technology that we want.
This makes more sense.
But ostensibly, it's we're worried that you represent a threat.
Yeah.
And there's so many of you here, that's scary.
This makes more sense when you add in the knowledge that they're being pursued by the Earth government. Because Earth is like, oh, Sheridan, stop them, ask them questions. Without actually informing him of why.
Right, delay them.
Yeah, they use Sheridan as a delay tactic. We're hoping he would be a delaying tactic. And instead he's like, oh, okay, sounds good to me. Have a great time beyond the rim. See y'all later, bye.
Yep, wherever it is that you're going.
Have a great time. And this is when Londo comes in and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to be late, gentlemen. I was unavoidably detained. You know, I want the scene of him and Veer trying to get the camera to turn on. Is it on, Veer? I don't know if it's on. Why is there no light?
That would be a great blooper.
You can't have a light if it's a hidden camera, Londo. Oh my God, I know, but how will I know when it's on? You just push the button and hope. Okay. It was a matter of state.
Yeah.
He goes, although I can tell by the sense of joy permeating the room that I was right to offer my services as a mediator. And this is when he puts down his camera behind his little cup, and then he like taps the camera like, good boy. Like the least subterfuge anyone has ever subterfuged. And he fails on his sleight of hand check. He natural ones his sleight of hand check because everyone knows he put something there. And Elric is like, oh, Captain, you have been used. And Sheridan's like, tell me how. Tell me all the good stuff about Londo, because Elric goes, this creature has been seeking it. This creature has been seeking an audience with me ever since I arrived. And Sheridan's like, Londo. And Londo's like, what? No. And the guy just goes,
hologram of Veer.
With the flame flourish. Not just a hologram, but like, with the like poof of flame. My name is Veer Koto. The whole recording from earlier. And he's like, okay, so you were saying? And Londo's like, oh my God, recording a conversation? What a dick move. And Elric is like, correct. And then he blows up Londo's camera. After he's like, I offer the hands of friendship. And the Technomage
assume
guy,
you will not take advantage of this gesture or misrepresent it as some sort of endorsement.
And Londo's like, what? No. What? No. Risky business condemning my recording device while using one of your own. And Londo's like, I can explain. And Elric goes, I don't like to be used. You must learn manners and respect. And from this moment on, you will. And then I think you should leave, Ambassador. That's what Sheridan said. He's like, fuck off, Londo, before I decide to report your attempt to bug my office and send you back home.
In my head, after Londo leaves, Sheridan and Elric high five for the successful, convincing Londo that they were they were having a disagreement that he could use as a segue.
They must, because they go from having this conversation in the office to just walking through the Zocalo together. Oh man, that was great. Now we don't have to stay in here anymore. You want to go for a walk?
Yeah. In my head, that's how Sheridan played this.
I think that's that's good. I like that headcanon. That makes it make more sense for him. Why he was immediately combative with someone who's literally just gathering with his, having a family reunion before they head off to another planet.
Yeah.
And I wrote in my notes, this was not a great Londo moment, and maybe there's a reason he hasn't risen higher in the ranks.
Because
if this is
sometimes he's not good at this.
No, I think he's been trading on his family's secrets for a long time, but in his heart, he's not very good at this.
Yeah.
He's like I'm trying to think of what class could pretend to be a bard, but just be really shitty at it. He's like an orc trying to be a bard, like something with natural low charisma.
Or a barbarian.
Yeah.
Trying to be a bard.
Yeah. Something with really something not charisma based, but trying to do something charisma based, because every time he tries to do something charismatic, it fails terrifically. Unless he's drunk.
Maybe he's a scholar.
Maybe.
Trying to, and he's book smart, but he's not savvy.
Or he's just an NPC who got tired of watching everybody else have classes, and he's trying, but he's still an NPC. Not for much longer, though. This is when they're walking, and Sheridan's like, look, I'm really sorry for that Malari thing, but I do actually need some questions answered.
Yeah, they have this cool conversation about the symbolism, I guess, of magic and like the human heart.
Yeah, and I just started reading The Dark Tower because we're getting ready to do The Dark Tower for Strange and Beautiful Book Club. And there's a part in there that I highlighted because I really liked it. And it was like a child looks at everything with a sense of wonder because they believe that anything could be magic. Or they believe that everything is magic because everything is new and everything is fresh and everything feels like magic. And that's what he's basically saying because he's like, I need to know where you're going, what your group's all about. And Elric is like, listen, Captain, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? And he's like, when I was 12, I used to sit in my dad's garden with the air full of the smell of orange blossoms, which explains his obsession with oranges.
Yeah.
He's like, I would look out at the sky and I would imagine going places and going anywhere. And I just believed that anything was possible. And that felt like fucking magic. And if you went back in time 1,000 years and tried to explain this place to people, they could only accept it in terms of magic. And Elric goes, then maybe it is magic. This is the part that I actually like about the technomages. And he said, it's the magic of the human heart, focused and made manifest by technology. And every day you create greater miracles here than the burning bush.
Then perhaps it is magic. The magic of the human heart. Focused and made manifest by technology. Every day you here create greater miracles than the burning bush.
Maybe.
So Sheridan says, but God was there first, and he didn't need solar batteries and a fusion reactor.
I was like,
maybe.
Are you? I know. He's like, perhaps,
wink, wink.
Maybe not. You weren't there. You don't know. He's like, it is within this ambiguity that my brothers and I exist. We are dreamers, shapers, singers, and makers. We study the mysteries of laser and circuit and crystal and scanner.
It is within that ambiguity that my brothers and I exist. We are dreamers, shapers, singers, and makers. We study the mysteries of laser and circuit, crystal and scanner, holographic demons and invocations of equations. These are the tools we employ, and we know many things.
Such as?
The true secrets, the important things. 14 words to make someone fall in love with you forever. 7 words to make them go without pain. How to say goodbye to a friend who is dying. How to be poor. How to be rich. How to rediscover dreams when the world has stolen them from you. That is why we are going away, to preserve that knowledge.
From what?
There is a storm coming, a black and terrible storm.
This was a really cool line. Yeah. That whole line was so cool. He's like, we know many things. And Sheridan goes, such as? He's like, oh, the true secrets, the important things. 14 words to make someone fall in love with you forever. And somebody must have asked JMS because he said, if I have to tell you, they won't work anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I figured him out, though.
Okay.
All right, there's a 14-word acronym that gets thrown around in the Bookstagram community. And it is BAGBALTPUICOYF, which is 14, and it stands for, skip ahead if you don't want me to say a bad word other than fuck. Be a good boy and lick that pussy until I come on your face. Nailed it! All right, 7 words to make them go without pain. I got nothing for you on that one. Sorry. I've peaked.
Yeah. How to say goodbye to a friend who is dying.
Aww.
How to be poor. How to be rich.
Wait, I think somebody wrote a book about that, right? Art of the Deal. How to rediscover dreams when the world has stolen them from you. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
So in my mind, this sounds like a wisdom tradition.
Yes.
Like one of the things that religion does.
Wizards do roll wisdom checks. They're
intelligence.
Is sorcerer?
Sorcerer's charisma.
Who does wisdom?
Druids.
Oh, maybe they're druids.
And clerics.
But their nature is technology.
Ooh. Ooh, druids whose nature is technology.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
Anyway, they have a whole culture that's very deeply rooted in like exploring, like learning wisdom,
Yeah.
and they use it's like they would never get caught up in whether or not they could without thinking about whether or not they should.
Yeah.
Right? I guess they've surpassed that where now they actually think about things deeply before they do them.
Yeah.
And they're obviously not in search of power because they rarely leave their places.
Just the preservation of knowledge.
And the learning of
Their knowledge.
wisdom.
Yeah.
So they need to preserve that.
Yeah.
That's their intention. Is they don't want the kind of shallow technological capabilities being subverted, being used, being stolen by people who don't have the discernment to use that ethically,
Yeah.
wisely.
Well, to use it just to have power over others.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, that's why we're going away, to preserve that knowledge. And Sheridan's like, from what? And he's like, from the storm that's coming, a black and terrible
Kind
storm.
of like the Foundation series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. Because something is coming and we don't want our knowledge lost or used for ill purpose. So we will launch ourselves into the stars, and with any luck, you will never see our kind again in your lifetime. He's like, I know you have your orders, Captain. Detain us if you wish. What? Okay, it's fine. I've already said my piece about that. But I cannot tell you where we're going. He's like, I get that you have questions, but like, I'm not going to answer them. Also, I don't think it should be legal to detain him. He hasn't done anything except know something that somebody else wants to know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I can only ask you to trust us. And then he like waves his hand over Sheridan's fist. And then when he opens it, there's an orange blossom in it. And he's like, an orange blossom?
Man, he's good.
He's so good at this.
Do you do birthday parties?
Meanwhile, we skipped it because I got really excited.
Well, I figured we were going to follow through on all the Technomage stuff before
Until
we
the
went
end.
back to the Drazi.
Yeah, because Ivanova goes to talk to them again, except it has escalated in scope to include murder. And there's a bunch of Drazi. There's a bunch of dead Drazi. Now there's failure and there's failure. She didn't kill them, but she also put them in a room where they could kill each other. But she didn't know at the time that that was a thing that could happen.
Right.
So she goes down to see the leader of the Greens because they just had another Drazi killed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, natural selection, do not interfere. We're clearly the superior color. And she's like, oh, I have to because I can't have this station disrupted any further. And I hobbled all the way over here from Blue Sector, so can you at least fucking listen to me? And they're like, you are not nice. You do not talk polite to Drazi, but we hurt you. So, okay, we'll listen to you. Rise above our differences. And Ivanova's like, pretty sure difference is not the issue, considering you didn't have any.
Right. There are none.
The issue is
Except
that you're killing
random
each
chance.
other here and on Homeworld. And they're like, oh, would you rather we kill humans? And she's like, don't fuck off with that, okay? I came to help. But if you don't, and they're like, oh, no, we'll take your help. We have a solution to the problem. You just tell the purple Drazi to all go to Brown 29. It's empty. It's fine. Tell them we're going to talk about peace. Find a solution. If you tell them, they'll trust you. And then when they all get there, you just take all the atmosphere out of the room and let them all suffocate to death. And she's like, the fuck is wrong with you? They're like, the station would be quiet again. There would be no more fighting. It is a solution. It is not a good solution, but it is a solution. He's like, green Drazi win? You win. Everybody win. Everybody win. And she's like, oh my God, you're talking about the cold-blooded slaughter of 2,000 Drazi?
Bruh.
These are your people. And he's like, no, they're purple. It's different. Remember this next time somebody arbitrarily gives you a group of people that you're supposed to hate. Remember, they're purple. So he's like, great shame, actually. We already sent word to the purple that you were going to come. We used your name and everything. So you will stay here until we're done. And she tries to call security, but she gets kidnapped. And this is when Garibaldi is walking around the station like an NPC. He's just...
Yeah, he's aimless. He's
processing.
Soul searching.
He's soul searching. And I'm glad they included this because it gives him a reason to come back.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it would have been fine if he just decided to come back. But this moment where he's like, oh, hey, Lou, what's up? And they're like, oh, we got an uplink from Commander Ivanova, like an email, basically.
Yeah.
Said to clear out Bound 29. Going to be some big Drazi meeting. And he's like, oh, Commander, good for her. Oh, but wait a minute. You didn't hear from her? And he's like, oh, no, we got a message. He's like, no, wait. You didn't hear from her directly? You got a message?
She can't type.
What would you type
I know
on?
How many typos were in the message? Because she has horrible spelling.
How would you type? All she has is the little
Well, you'd have
thingy.
You'd have to have a console hooked up to
Yeah. He's
like Bluetooth linked to your comm
He's
device.
like, we checked the ID. It came from her link. It's fine. And he's like, yeah, I know, but did you talk to her? And he was like, no, she said she was going to go offline for a while.
Bruh.
And Garibaldi's like, oh, okay, but where was she when you talked to her? And he's like, oh, alien sector, Brown 2. And this is when we come back and Ivanova's trying to talk to them. And she's like, you are making a huge mistake. You assaulted an Earth Alliance officer. You're attempting mass murder. And they're like, green must fight purple. Purple must fight green. There is no other way. And she's like, oh, great. Just my luck. A race that only speaks in macros. Because they just repeat the same phrases over and over again.
Yep.
And this is when Garibaldi shows up and he's like, well, hello. I'm looking for the lady of the house. I'm assuming you're not the lady of the house.
Yeah, the salesman routine.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm here to sell you something that'll make your life easier, cleaner, happier. The Acme Handy Dandy Micro Helper right here in this box. Oh, I can see this is going to be a hard sell. And he's like, this is just my little way of helping, so trust me, okay? And then he goes, as a matter of fact, if there's anybody here who needs a little help, just say the word. And Ivanova punches somebody and then is like, Garibaldi! And he's like, haha, I am needed.
My hunch was correct.
Yes.
I feel validated. My life has purpose again.
Why is this section empty? What is this section that these people just live here? There's like a giant ceiling door that they can... There's like a big round door.
It's like a cargo hatch.
bulkhead. Okay, but if space is at a premium so much so that you had to fight to have a rock garden.
Space is at a premium in the center.
Okay.
Because that's where all the sunlight is.
Okay. And this is when Veer goes back to talk to Londo, and Londo's being haunted, basically. They send a poltergeist after him.
I have I have this tagged as Londo and his consequences.
He says a hollow demon has possessed his data system, and I would like you to find a way to use that excuse at work. I can't work today. I've got a hollow demon. It's consuming my records. He says 20 minutes ago it gathered the pieces of my personal financial account, cast an equation spell, and I now own 200,000 shares in a Spoo Ranch.
And Spoo is the thing that Jakar was eating.
It's JMS's Easter egg.
Okay.
It's one of his things because he also included it in, I think, She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Okay.
He tends to throw it in. And he's like,
It's
and that
his Hoyd.
sound, what's that hideous sound? And he's like, Narn Opera. And it's like, it does sound awful. I feel like regular opera sounds like this, but then Narn Opera's even worse. And he's like, our friend the Technomage has an especially perverse sense of humor. And Veer goes, you could always apologize.
And that's totally not
Londo
Londo's
goes,
thing.
apologize? Never.
No.
And then it goes, congratulations, you are now the owner of 500,000 shares of Fireflies Incorporated. And then the lights turn out and he goes, on the other hand, maybe I will apologize.
So we're back to Garibaldi and Ivanova.
Oh, yeah.
With the
and it's
Drazi.
because the Drazi are marching through the through the hallways like, oh yeah, we did it. We had a plan and we followed through on the plan. And I wonder if the Drazi are actually a less intelligent race, or if it's like that race from Star Trek where they only talk in memes and metaphor. And they're trying to translate how they actually speak into the common language.
Maybe.
And so it's like there's a show I watched one time where the lady was like, in Spanish, I'm brilliant.
Oh, that's Modern Family.
Yeah. But like in
Yeah,
English,
she's like, you don't know how smart I am in Spanish.
yeah.
But when I have to translate everything.
And yeah, there's loss. All translation is
Deception?
betrayal.
Betrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Babel. Apparently we need to reread Babel. I'm never rereading Babel, but I need to look that quote up so I get it right again. But they're like going somewhere because guess what? And it's Ivanova with Garibaldi, which she should have taken back up the last time she went to meet with the Drazi.
Right.
Yeah. I know she's trying to be tough and do it independently, but also sometimes people need someone with a gun with them. It's like it seems that the Purple Drazi bought the story that there was one big fight to the death, and they're all waiting for you in Brown 29. Now, I can let you space them, but I have another solution, and we're going to keep them for just a few more days because I checked, and your people only do this for one cycle, and since a Drazi week is shorter than a human week, we got some time.
A cycle. One cycle.
Is now 1 week. And then they
6
laugh.
Earth days.
They laugh and go, ha ha, a cycle is not a Drazi week. A cycle is a Drazi year. And I feel like they're mocking us at this point.
Yeah.
Because never.
It's an equivocation on the word cycle that gets translated into common from every alien language.
Yeah.
And it means something different.
Because
But it gets
never before
reduced to the same word.
has cycle represented a week. And they hear cycle and
Unless
go,
in
a
TKO,
week. It was 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
But then
That kind of makes sense.
But
that
then-
you have a training montage for 3 weeks.
But then in the episode with the Grail, where he had 270 cycles, that would have been like 5 years or, yeah, almost over 5 years to get the money back.
That wasn't a Drazi cycle.
I know, but what? No, but they
I think a human cycle is a day.
No, I think it's arbitrary. I don't think there's any way to solve this. I just think at this moment they thought for some reason that cycle was a week, even though previously it has never represented a week. Realistically.
Yeah.
In TKO, 3 weeks I can kind of understand. But then the like 270 cycles makes no fucking sense. And then in other times they're like, check on him every quarter of a cycle. Well, that would mean every like 1.5 days or every 2.5 days or whatever. So that doesn't make any sense. So never before has week made sense. Except this moment, they were like, ha, that means a week. And they're like, no, it means a year. And that's the equivalent of 1.2 human years. So we're going to be at this for years. Can you keep the Purple Drazi prisoner that long, Earther? And they're like, this is our way. You can't do anything about it. And Ivanova's like, do you know how crazy you sound? It doesn't make sense to kill each other over a piece of cloth. And they're like, you do the same thing. And she's like, what? No, what? And they're like, yeah, what's a flag? What's honor?
But don't you understand? This is insane. It doesn't make any sense to go around killing each other over a piece of cloth.
You do same, yes, for flag, for honor.
That's different.
Is it?
Yes. Our flags at least mean something. It's not as arbitrary as yanking a color out of a box. I mean, you're fighting and dying over a stupid piece of cloth. Look, there's nothing special about it.
Which, we could go on a rabbit hole.
Oh, that was, shots fired. Okay.
Right?
Shots fired. I was like, okay. She goes, no, that is different. The flag means something. It's not as arbitrary as yanking a color out of a box.
Is it though?
I mean, it is just kind of where you were born.
Yeah. It's random in
It
where
is
you were
entirely
born
random, yeah.
versus random
Yeah, that's entirely-
in what
Unless you've
ribbon you pulled out.
moved and chosen another country.
Right.
Which nothing says that a Drazi can't be like, I want to be purple. You can
Right.
switch to purple.
I'm convinced of the argument that the purples are making.
Yeah, I will become
I'll
purple
convert.
now. Yeah, and now this is my cloth instead of that cloth.
Right.
And she's like, there's nothing special about it. It's not patriotic. It's not got nothing but this stupid little star in the middle. And she like pulls the leader cloth off of both of them, off the one guy. And then they just stand there.
They all stand there looking shocked.
Yeah. And she's like, what's wrong? And they're like, if you take the green leader bin, that makes you green leader. And she's like, hold on. And Garibaldi looks like he's trying not to laugh. He's like, oh my God, what? Jerry Doyle, this must have been so funny to sit there and listen to. And he's like, you're saying, or Ivanova says, you're saying that just because I'm holding this right now, I'm green leader, but I'm human. And the Drazi are like, well, the rules of combat are older than our contact with other races. And it didn't really say anything about
stuck
aliens.
In committee.
Rules change, caught up in committee.
Bureaucracy, tell me about it.
And she goes, oh, yeah, well, we got that in common. Well, what do you know? All right, Greens follow green leader. Well, green leader says, you're all coming with me down to the quartermaster's office. I'm sure there's some dye hanging around, and you're all going to look absolutely gorgeous in purple.
Now, there's a solution.
In purple, I'm stunning.
It's an interesting intervention. And the weird thing is, thinking back about this episode, the ending that I remembered was that she took the green leader's badge, and then she went and took the purple leader's badge and told them to stop fighting.
Oh, no, I don't know. I remember them getting dyed.
Apparently I made that up.
Maybe you put together this section and the earlier section where she takes the scarf off the other guy.
Yeah.
That would, maybe. I remembered it being this is the end. It's just make them all the same and then they won't fight anymore.
Yeah.
The other solution would be to take everybody's things, but then maybe they import them.
Right.
This is better. And then we come back to Londo trying to apologize. He's like, hello.
He gives it a good shot.
That my enthusiasm was excessive. And anyway, I'm really sorry. And he goes, and then they stop growling at him. Everything stops.
Yeah, when
and
he
he's
says
like,
apologize.
oh, well, I'm pleased that you guys are a sympathetic and understanding group. I will go now. And if you ever come this way again, perhaps we can do business. And then he leaves. And as he turns to leave, you see there are imps clinging to his back, which he says it takes him a week or a couple of days to clean up the damage to his quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take over a week to get the smell out, which means these are corporeal creatures that they can summon and send after somebody. Or a hologram so good it can interact with physical reality.
Technomage.
Okay, that's fine. I'm asking for an explanation and there's not going to be one, so I just need to let it go. And then Garibaldi's back. Hey, back. And they are having a dinner with him. And they're like, what made you come back to duty? And he's like, well, for a while there, I didn't really know. I didn't know what I had to offer. And then I decided that I had 2 unique qualifications. He goes,
2 things. I know this place and everybody on it intimately.
And Ivanova goes, I beg your pardon. You have not said the 14 words to me that will make me fall in love with you.
And I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
And then I decided I'd bring 2 unique qualifications to the job. Number 1, as the captain here was kind enough to point out, I know this place and everybody on it intimately.
I beg your pardon.
Hey, in the 2 years you've been here, you've never been more than 2 inches away from your link. Knowing that little piece of information helps save your butt.
Okay, Garibaldi, what's reason number 2?
I don't trust anybody. When somebody tells me we get a message from Ivanova, I don't believe it until I get it from her point blank.
So in other words, you're perfect for the job because you're paranoid and compulsive.
Or compulsively paranoid.
Who told you to say that?
He goes, you've never been more than 2 inches away from your comm. And number 2, I don't trust anyone. So you tell me you got a message from Ivanova? I don't believe it. So oh, great. So you're perfect because you're paranoid and compulsive?
Or compulsively paranoid.
He goes, who told you to say that?
Hey, maybe that's his condition.
Yeah. He's compulsively paranoid. He's got a lot going on, okay? There's a lot of conditions. Could be a lot of things. But the funny joke, I like that.
Compulsively paranoid could be a reason why a telepath would have a hard time doing a scan.
Oh, yeah, because your mind could be
if you're constantly
closed.
guarded.
Or you could have a maze. It could be hard to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sheridan gets a call. And they're like, you wanted to know when the Technomages were leaving? They're boarding now. He's like, thank you. I'll be right there. So
Bye-bye.
he heads up to control. But before he leaves, he's like, oh, and Mr. Garibaldi? Michael. Which is nice because the last time he talked to him, he was like, I don't know you. He's like, call me Michael. And he's like, okay, Michael, I'm glad you agreed to stay on. And the private liner Crystal Cavern is now ready to depart. Okay. I kind of love it. Crystal Cavern. He's like, I wanted to say thank you for your amusing little gift, is what Londo says to Elric, because Elric is getting ready to load onto his shuttle. He's like, it took me 2 hours to repair the damage to my quarters, and I don't think the smell will go away for days. He's like, is this going to end when you leave, or am I going to spend my life paying for my one little mistake? And he's like, oh, you're going to spend the rest of your life paying for your mistakes, just not this particular one.
Which isn't really an answer.
No,
to his
because
question.
it's trivial. I've withdrawn the spell. He says he's taken the spell away, but like, I can't save you from the consequences of all your poor decisions.
Right.
He says, you are touched by darkness, Ambassador, and it is a blemish that will grow with time. And I could warn you, but you won't listen. I could kill you, but someone would just take your place. That's a chilling thing to say to somebody. I mean, I'd just kill you, but then we'll have to deal with Londo version number 2.
He's like, okay, you wanted an endorsement. Here we go.
He goes,
I see a great hand reaching out to the stars. The hand is your hand, and I hear sounds. The sounds of billions of people calling your name. My followers?
your victims.
Your victim.
Oh, I believe it was an endorsement you wanted. A word or two, a picture to send to the folks back home, confirming that you have a destiny before you.
Yes, it was just a thought, nothing more.
We'll take this for what little it will profit you. As I look at you, Ambassador Mallory, I see a great hand reaching out of the stars. The hand is your hand. And I hear sounds, the sounds of billions of people calling your name.
My followers?
Your victims.
That's a good line.
And then
Londo looks like
Technomage out.
I know. He's like, and with that, on that note, bye, motherfucker. And he just leaves. And I love Londo's look of like, oh, wait a minute.
That's not what I wanted.
Did you think murdering 10,000 people was going to get you a fan club? Is that how you thought that was going to go down? You think the mystery figure who is doing all of this for you for nothing has your best interests in mind? He knows full well he doesn't. But he doesn't mind that this is a Hail Mary.
Yeah. He's trying to delude himself.
And so then we're back on the CNC and they're talking to Sheridan and they're like, the ship carrying the Technomages is requesting permission to leave. Can they like go? And Sheridan's like,
am I being detained?
Sheridan's like, hell yeah, go. And then he has this moment where he's like, dreamers, shapers, singers, makers. Part of me says we'll not see their like again. And part of me still believes in magic. Okay, but you literally thought they were a myth like a week ago.
Right.
So, I mean, magic can still exist.
Yeah.
A technomage can still spontaneously develop. Someone could still be like, I bet I can make a hologram that can shit on things. And then they will. I don't know. There's lots of magic in the universe, right? It's good. Yeah. It's fine. It's a fine plot line. It's fine. I remember really liking the Technomage from Crusade. And maybe we'll watch Crusade and we'll get to revisit the Technomages. But what a wildly complicated thing to throw in one episode.
Right?
And just be like, here you go.
Especially with a solid Drazi plotline.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that could have held up all 48 minutes. You could have added more Garibaldi.
Yeah, but you could have had that be the A plot and come up with a different B plot.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine. I think it's to show us like Londo's ambition.
Yeah.
And how quickly he will give in to his ambition. And how quickly he will do something incredibly desperate when given even the smallest taste of power.
Yeah.
And it's true. And he does. And it's a good way to illustrate that. And to add a little bit of like, ooh, there used to be wizards, but now they're not. Bye-bye.
They all left. Well, the human ones left.
Yeah, the human ones left. And the other ones are so obscure as to be mythical.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the first and last time we're going to see them. We didn't see any Delenn. When he says
Right.
he has to go meet with somebody, I was hoping he was going to go meet
We were
with
getting
Delenn.
ready for this episode, and I thought, hey, this is the first episode of season 2 where the whole band is back together.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any Jakar. We didn't get any Delenn.
But we got Elric. Elric. Makes me want to read the books. I had a friend in college who was like obsessed with the books.
All the Babylon 5 books?
No, the Elric
Oh, yeah.
of
the Elric
Melbane
books.
or whatever. I mean, Michael Moorcock is supposed to be, I mean, he's a golden age sci-fi, like proto-cyberpunk type author. And so when we were prepping to maybe do a cyberpunk deep dive, which we may still yet do in the future, he was on the list of things that I wanted to read.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also I was going to read sci-fi for a year. I was going to go from new age, like beginning sci-fi all the way through current sci-fi. And it turns out when I make a list for myself of what I have to read, I will read none of the things on the list because even I can't tell myself what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not abandoning that project, but eventually I will get back to that, just like a year in sci-fi. Because, sci-fi is quite the journey. Because you can go back, you can argue, people argue that, like, what's Epic the Musical based on again?
The Odyssey?
The Odyssey is one of the first sci-fi movies, or first sci-fi books. Because things happen that are scientifically unexplainable at the time.
Okay.
Or whatever. I think specifically, I can't remember, when he gets sucked up in the whirlpool or something. There's like a thing where he ends up in whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the argument now because it was a long time ago. And then you get into like, what is sci-fi? When does it actually start? Is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein the first sci-fi?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the first one where we create something fantastical using science.
Right.
And I would argue, yeah, the first modern-ish sci-fi. And so really, sci-fi has a woman to credit. A woman who was very bored on a summer when it snowed.
Yeah.
And I read that, and it is very melodramatic and very gothic. And then I couldn't get myself to read anything else. But I would really like to. Like, I really want to do that because seeing where sci-fi comes from to where it goes, maybe we should do it while we're doing Babylon 5 because we're going to be doing
fit the
Babylon
theme.
5 for a long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that to say, there's a lot of projects in the works. I need to set up a Ko-Fi. Because I know we have Patreon, but Patreon isn't always the most helpful, friendly,
Mm-hmm.
supportive of creators.
Yeah.
And I would love to try something a little bit smaller and maybe a little bit freer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ko-Fi might be the one that I'm going to try out. We'll see. I'm workshopping it because maybe we need to actually find a way to connect with fans again. We abandoned those projects years ago, and maybe now it's time to unearth them. Because we actually have people listening to this podcast, which is fucking wild. Do you know how long we did Come in 81 Kilo to ourselves? Like, to crickets? Forever, right? Until maybe like halfway through season 2, we started getting like regular downloads.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we're up to, on release day, we have almost double what we have on some of our other podcasts.
Yeah.
For Come in 81, for this one, for We Are All Kosh. So anyway, I guess that means that maybe people are actually listening and maybe people actually want to interact with us and maybe support us. I don't know. It's wild. I can't even. 3 years of podcasting. Maybe we could finally become like, we could not pay to provide free content to other people. I don't know. It's wild. I guess it's probably a good place to leave it. So we live for the one.
We would die for the one.
Until next time, friends.
Bye.
Bye.